Responsibilities and privileges of Australian citizenship. The responsibilities and rights of Australian citizenship as a citizen of Australia has both obligations and advantages that citizens must respect for the sake of keeping Australia secure, free and fair. Responsibilities. The law is a requirement for each Australian must abide by every law in Australia regardless of exceptions. Voting. The requirement to vote is for everyone Australian people aged 18 and over to participate at state and federal elections, as well as any referendums regarding or pertaining to the Australian Constitution. It's not mandatory to take part in local government elections in specific states. Defending Australia. In the defence of Australia during normal circumstances, it's up for each citizen to decide whether they would like to join Australia's Australian Defence Force. However, every Australian citizen has the obligation to protect the rights of Australia's nation and lifestyle when needed. Jury service. Any Australian citizen over the age of 18 is eligible for jury service for the purpose of serving on the jury, taking in the court case evidence and deciding whether or not guilty verdict. The jurors are chosen randomly through the voting process, helping to ensure that the justice system fair and impartial. Public service employment. The privileges of public service employment. Australian citizenship gives the ability to be considered for positions in the Australian public service, working in government office, or for membership in an organisation such as the Australian Defence Force, Army, Navy, Air Force. Be elected Parliament. The right to vote in Parliament for all Australian citizens over 18 who do not have dual citizenship. They can apply for a say-at in either the federal, state or territory legislatures. Apply Australian passport. Request an Australian passport for every Australian citizen is entitled to live wherever within Australia they wish. The citizens can also be eligible to apply for an Australian passport that allows travellers to travel abroad and be able to return into Australia without visa requirements. Seek consular assistance. Any Australian travelling to other countries can apply for consular assistance to consular assistance at the Australian Embassy or High Commission and Consulate of the nation they are visiting if they require help. These organisations can aid when civil unrest or natural disasters happen, or if they aid those who require assistance in the event that they've lost their passports, suffered injuries in an accident, suffer from illness, or to cope with the death of someone they've been travelling with. Note that Australian citizens who travel to different countries must abide by applicable laws in the country they are visiting. Have your children become Australian citizen? Is any Australian citizen who has a child born abroad is entitled to request that the child be an Australian citizen for themselves. It is referred to as being an Australian citizen via descent.